Is it time for the Chicago Bears to make a bold move that could shift the entire landscape of not just their team, but the entire NFC? As we gear up for what promises to be a whirlwind season, the tension in Bears Nation is palpable, filled with hopes for a playoff run that feels closer, but also fraught with the ghosts of past heartbreaks. We're talking about aspirations reminiscent of the 1985 Super Bowl squad, yet haunted by the what-ifs of seasons lost to injury or mismanagement. Can a powerhouse like Alvin Kamara, one of the most dynamic running backs in the league, join the Bears and rewrite our story? Think about it. The Bears have long endured the stigma of a lackluster offense, known more for strong defenses and hard-nosed football than explosive plays. Yet with a promising young quarterback like Caleb Williams at the helm and an arsenal of fresh talent, it feels like the pieces are finally coming together. The clock is ticking, and the division is fierce with rivals like the Vikings, Lions, and Packers, all vying for supremacy in the NFC North. The showdowns ahead loom larger than life. How can the Bears stack the deck in their favor in this unforgiving landscape? Now, why is this particular moment so critical? Looking back, we've seen the Bears make moves that change the course of their history, some that paid off and some that fell flat. Remember the Jay Cutler trade? The high hopes that came crashing down? Or when the front office thought they could squeeze victory from old veterans who just couldn't deliver anymore? This time, Bears fans are craving a power play, an assertive step toward shaking off the years of mediocrity and driving straight into contender territory. This is Bears News Fan Report, your one-stop source for breaking Bears news, gripping analysis, and everything you need to know about our beloved team. If you're passionate about where this team can go and the bold moves they might make, be sure to hit that subscribe button and join the conversation. The rumors are swirling, and you won't want to miss the latest developments that could unfold during this exhilarating season. So what's the scoop? Let's spill the tea. Recent chatter has emerged linking star running back Alvin Kamara of the New Orleans Saints to the Chicago Bears, a seemingly perfect fit that could take Chicago's offense to an entirely new level. The Saints are rumored to be exploring options to offload Kamara, especially as they pivot towards a long-term rebuild in a division that's growing increasingly competitive. With November's trade deadline approaching fast, the speculation is heating up here in Bears Nation. Now, why would this news be a game-changer for Chicago? Let's break that down. Last season, Kamara put up 950 rushing yards, averaging 4.2 yards per carry. Even after battling through injury and taking a break from the game, his level of skill and experience can't be dismissed. The Bears are in desperate need of a reliable option behind DeAndre Swift, a player who can both carry the load on the ground and make plays out of the backfield. Adding Kamara could not only solidify the position, but elevate everyone around him. Think about the alignment of talents like DJ Moore and the emerging Rome Odunze. But it's not solely about the stats or fantasy implications. The addition of Kamara signifies intent. It shows that Chicago is fully committed to surrounding their young quarterback with every weapon available, which aligns perfectly with head coach Kellen Moore's ambitious offensive vision. Imagine what that could look like. Defensive coordinators across the league scrambling to make sense of a Bears offense brimming with diversity and potential. Yet, let's pause and consider the ramifications of such a move. If the Bears pull the trigger on this trade, what happens to their other offensive stars? Would Kamara's role as a dual threat diminish his unique value? In fantasy football, his draft position could take a hit as he transitions from the lead back role in New Orleans to potentially sharing the spotlight in Chicago. But make no mistake, if the Bears play this right, they could elevate Kamara to a high-end RB2 who excels in an offense designed to maximize his skills. The Saints are in a tricky position. They have a contract to consider, a transition to navigate, and a solid chance to stockpile draft picks in exchange for one of their most marketable assets. Moving Kamara could be a pragmatic choice for New Orleans, as they brace for a challenging future, possibly without the playoff dreams that Bear fans have longed for. So here's the cliffhanger to chew on, Bears fans. What if this trade goes through? What sort of implications would it have, not just for Chicago's playoff ambitions, but for their overall identity as a team? The stakes are high, and the questions are endless. Could this be the move that finally propels the Bears out of the shadows of the NFC North and cements their status as a legitimate contender? Stay tuned, because in this unpredictable landscape, anything can happen. The future is bright, and we're here for every electrifying moment on this journey. Bears fans, I'm furious, and you should be too. The whispers echoing through the Windy City are impossible to ignore. Word just slipped out of Halas Hall, and it changes everything. We stand at a crossroads where ambition meets reality. The trade deadline isn't just around the corner, it's a ticking time bomb. If you bleed Chicago blue, subscribe now. We ride this storm together because you know things are about to hit the fan in a way that has Bears Nation holding its breath. Imagine this, the desperation in the locker room as rumors swirl about. Alvin Kamara leaving the Saints for the Bears. What does that do to a team already wrestling with the ghosts of seasons past? Could it fracture the fragile egos that fill the depth chart? Meanwhile, NFC North rivals are circling like vultures, ready to pounce on any sign of weakness from our beloved Bears. The Vikings and Packers will surely smell blood in the water, picking apart the Bears at their weakest moments if they sense a divided team. As we glance towards November's trade deadline, the pressure mounts, every executive's chess game magnified with every rumor that finds its way into the public sphere. Can Ryan Poles really pull this off? Will he let a chance at elevating our offense slip through his fingers, or will he strike like a viper in the night? With Kamara in the building, suddenly, the complexity of play calling from Kellen Moore's brain becomes a nightmare for defenses across the league. A nightmare we've longed to inflict on them. Last season, Kamara's stats included 950 rushing yards and a stellar 4.2 per carry. Yet, he's been the center of talk all summer amid hints of trade discussions. Imagine the weight of that potential. What if the Bears can turn the clock back and finally embrace an identity that demands respect across the league? It's a crucial juncture. This season could either spark a renaissance for the Bears or plunge us back into the darkness of mediocrity. Picture Soldier Field, the icy lakefront wind biting with the anticipation buzzing in the air as the crowd roars, elevating. That familiar feeling of hope and dread. Kamara in the blue and orange, a double-edged sword poised to drive us closer to playoff contention or derail our fragile plans as he transitions to a secondary role. We can't ignore the stakes. If Kamara arrives, what will become of DeAndre Swift? Will he lose his shine and slide into a supporting role despite talent that demands the spotlight? But as we salivate over high-powered fantasy implications, let's not forget, the move heralds intent. It tells fans and foes alike that the Bears refuse to be overlooked any longer. However, what if this trade doesn't go through? The front office could be researched and dissected in itself, players restless, fan bases divided, and the doubters having a field day. Far worse, will the Bears lose valuable draft capital as they claw their way back to respectability? The stakes are high and the questions are endless. If any executive is brave enough to go for it, that's the moment when the Bears truly step into the arena. They could either emerge as contenders or get left behind in the dust, further entrenched in their losing culture. If they don't seal the deal, the sheer weight of memories from past Bears, greats like Butkus and Urlacher, haunt us. How could one misstep ripple through decades? Picture that Soldier Field roar once more, each echo a distant reflection of our proud history, a reminder of both glory and despair. Just think, the crunch of cleats on the turf, the smell of tailgate smoke wafting through the stands. Can we dare to dream of a future that makes those moments feel real again? If the deadline comes and goes without any action, what message does that send? What if this, the year of Caleb Williams, and what seems like movement towards win now, slips away? As the city waits with bated breath, are we willing to gamble everything for a franchise running back who could define the new Chicago identity? The answers are mere whispers on the streets. Suspense mounts as we inch closer towards November 4th. This isn't merely about one player. It's about constructing a football legacy and embedding the fire back into our culture. Would you pull the trigger knowing it could define the next decade? In a city thick with emotions and expectations, the path stretches into uncertainty. But one thing remains clear: Bears Nation is ready for the storm to break, and we're here for the fallout that comes next.